Hey y'all, Liz Gray here. I am the post-secondary coordinator for ECISD and I represent the To and Through Success Center, and we are going to do a walkthrough of how to complete the 2023-2024 FAFSA. So this is the page that you will see when you go to studentaid.gov, and we are going to select that you are the student and want to access the FAFSA form. For this video, we are just going to click login to continue, and that means you have already created an FSA ID. If you have not created your FSA ID, you need to pause this video, select create an FSA ID, and watch our other video if you have questions about that, and do that, and then you can come back to this video. So from here, we are going to select login to continue, and this is where you will input your FSA ID, which is your username, or your email address that you used to create your FSA ID, or the mobile number you created or used when you created your account. So for this one, I am using some preloaded information that was provided to us, and you're just going to input, again, your username and password and click login. You're going to read through this and select accept. When it loads, this is what it will look like for you. And from here, we are going to start the 2023-2024 FAFSA. That's for next school year. So this video is predominantly for our graduating seniors. So this is for next school year that will begin in August of 2023. And that's the form you need to complete for your high school graduation requirement. So we're going to select start. The very first thing you do will create a save key. That just means if you have to stop for any reason, you can log out, log back in later, put in your save key when prompted, and we'll take you to where you left off so you don't have to go through the entire application again. And I usually recommend just a 4-digit PIN number, something that you will remember. It can be whatever you want it to be. For this video, I'm just going to use 1, 2, 3, 4. You just have to make sure they both match. Continue. From here are some FAQs, some frequently asked questions. If you're unsure of what we're about to do, then you can read through that, click any links that you need. For this video, we're just going to click continue. Now this first few pages is personal information for the student, which is you. All of this information will be pre-populated from when you set up your FSA account or your FSA ID. So for us, we're just going to go through and make sure it's correct. Anything that is grayed out like this, that means you can't click in it to correct it. But anything that is white, you can go in and update if needed. Just make sure the email address is correct. If you did not give your phone number when you created your FSA ID, it will not show up here, but if you would like to add it, you can. Continue. Make sure your address is correct. If you have moved since when you created the FSA ID, go ahead and update your address here. For this video, I'm just going to change it from Maryland to Texas, so it's more relevant for us, and we're going to continue. Then answer the question, have you lived in Texas for at least 5 years, yes or no? And then select whether or not you're a U.S. citizen. And continue. The first question is asking what your high school completion status will be. So if you are a current senior, then you will select that you will have your high school diploma when you begin college in 2023-2024. Then the next question is asking what college degree or certificate will you be working on. If you are attending a university, for example, UTPB, then you will select first bachelor's degree. If you are planning to go to a community college, then like OC, then you would select associate's degree for the occupation or technical program. For example, if you're going for an LVN, then you will earn your associate's degree for a particular occupation. You'll select that. If you plan on possibly going to OC for an associate's degree or just to earn credits to transfer to a different college, then you will select that. If you plan on attending a community college or OC for a certificate in a particular occupation for a program less than 2 years or a program at least 2 years, select that. If you aren't sure, then go ahead and select other or undecided. So for this one, we're just going to select first bachelor's degree. This student's going to UTPB. It will automatically select that no, you do not have your first bachelor's degree because you're just now graduating high school. Then you will select what college grade level you will be in the beginning of 2023-2024 school year. It is very important that you select never attended college first year. Now, I know that there are those students that may have dual credit hours, or you may even have earned your associate's degree. So technically you have attended college. However, this is asking whether or not this is your first year being a full-time college student, meaning you are not also a high school student. So all graduating seniors will select never attended college first year. Don't worry about the dual credit hours. They will transfer. That has nothing to do with this. Just make sure you select never attended college first year. If you have questions, just reach out and we can help you with that. Then if you are interested in being considered for work study, you'll select yes, no, or don't know. If you're unsure of a question and there is a question mark at the end of the question, you can select the little picture of the question mark and it will give you some more information. So work study, you will work for the college that you're attending as a student worker, and there's special financial aid for that. But if you're unsure, just put don't know. If for sure, put yes, and for sure not, put no. Continue. Next up, if you have your driver's license and want to provide that information, you can put that number here. Make sure the state is Texas, if that's where your driver's license is from. If you don't have one or do not want to provide it, then you can leave it blank and click continue. Then you must answer whether or not you were a foster youth or were you ever in the foster care system at any time. Again, if you need clarification, click the question mark and it will pop up some information for you. Then you will need to decide who parent 1 is and who parent 2 is. So this is for your parent or guardian. If you possibly just live with one parent or guardian and do not know the information of the other, then you just answer for the one that you know. So for example, this one, I am going to say that their mom dropped out in 8th grade. So that means that they completed middle school or junior high. They did not go to high school. So it's asking the highest school completed. If your parent graduated high school, then you would select that they completed high school. If they have some type of degree, then you'll select college or beyond, and then other or unknown if you have no idea. So for this one, the parent dropped out in middle school, so we're going to select middle school, and then for parent 2, other or unknown, we don't know. Then push continue. Now this is where you will be adding your high school. So the first thing you would do is select the state, which is Texas. And then I suggest you go ahead and just put in Odessa as the city and search, because if you don't put the high school name exactly how it is in this form, then you may not show up on the reports that the district runs or that your teachers run or college and career advisors unless you have the correct school selected. So I'm going to go through each of the 5 high schools. So if you are graduating from New Tech, you would need to select George H.W. Bush, New Tech, Odessa. If you are graduating from OC Techs, then you would select Odessa Career and Technical Early College, HS. If you are graduating from OCA, then you would need to select Odessa Collegiate Academy Early College, HS. If you're graduating from OHS, then you would select Odessa, HS. If you are graduating from Permian, you would need to select Next and select Permian, HS. If you have any questions, please ask somebody and we can help you with that. If you are graduating from UTPB STEM, then you would select UTPB STEM Academy. For this particular one, we're going to select Permian and continue. Here you're just verifying that this is your high school. From here, this is where you will put in the colleges you want to send your FAFSA to. So you can add up to 10 colleges, but you must at least put one. So this is where you will just select all the schools that you want to receive your FAFSA. The school will then determine what you actually qualify for. If you do not plan on going to college and you're just doing this for the high school graduation requirement, totally fine. Just go ahead and put Odessa College. That way, if you change your mind, they already have your information. So the way you'll do that is to select the state where your school that you're looking to attend is, and then put the city. If you want to, you can type the school name, but for this, I'm just, again, going to put in Odessa and search, and it'll pull up any college or university in that city. So for this particular student, we're going to go ahead and send it to OC just in case, but we're also going to send it to UTPB. And you can see here it is keeping track of how many of the schools, of the 10 schools that I've selected. If you want to come back up here and add a different school, so we're going to go ahead and add Texas Tech just to show you an example. You'll come up and add the city or the school name and search again. Once you find the school that you want to add, which is Texas Tech University for this example, just select the check mark. Again, it updated. I have 3 of 10. If you send it to just 3 now, but maybe in a couple of months you decide that you want to go ahead and attempt to go to another school and see what you would qualify there, you can always come back in and add a school. You can watch our other video for that. So from here we have our 3 schools. We're going to select continue. And from here you have to select your housing plan for each of the schools. That just means, are you going to live on campus in the dorms with parent at home? Or if you select off campus, that usually means that you'll have a house or an apartment on your own. So for this particular student, because they live in Odessa, we are going to say if they go to Odessa College, they're going to live with a parent. Same for UTPB. However, if they go to Texas Tech, they are going to live in the dorms, because I do believe, like a lot of other colleges, freshmen are required to live in the dorm. So just make sure you check on the school for that. And then again, if you change your mind and you want to add more schools, you can do that, or you can click continue. From here, this is asking your marital status, and by that they mean, are you single, married, separated, or divorced? Most of you will select single. Then you must answer if you have any dependents. So this is any children that you have or will have that will receive more than half of their support from you, and pay attention to the dates. So this is next school year. So possibly if you yourself are pregnant or your significant other is pregnant now, then next school year during those dates, you will have a dependent. Okay. So if for this particular example, you do not have dependents, you will select no. If you have any other dependents, meaning aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, nephews, things like that, that will receive more than half of their support from you between now and June of 2024, then you select yes. If not, select no. Again, if you have questions, there's this question mark you can select, or just ask one of us. Continue. This page will help them determine whether you are going to be an independent student or a dependent student. If you are considered an independent student, that means you will not have to provide your parent or guardian's financial information. If you are considered a dependent student, you must provide that information about your parent or guardian. So on this page, you will read each of these prompts. If it pertains to you or is true for you, then you would select the box. If it does not pertain to you, then leave it blank. If none of them are true for you, then you would select none of the above. So again, just read through it. If it's true for you, select it. If not, select none of the above. If you have questions or need some clarification, ask one of us, or you can select this question mark here and we'll go into greater detail. So for this student, none of these are true for them, so continue. Then it's asking about homelessness. So again, pay attention to the dates. On or after July 1st of 2022, were you homeless or self-supporting and at risk of being homeless? If that question is confusing to you, again, click the question mark and we'll give some clarification for you. So for this particular example, the answer is no, and we are going to continue. So this is just saying that based on the answers for the past couple of pages, we were considered a dependent student. That just means that you must provide the parental information. And then it's asking, will you provide the information, or if you are unable to provide the information. So for this particular example, we are going to provide the information. If you do not have that information, then you'll select unable to provide. Reach out to one of us, we can help you from there on out. You're going to select continue. This is another FAQ page where if you aren't sure what information to provide, then it can answer that question for you. Again, just by pushing the arrow down. Push continue. Then here it's asking your marital status of your parents. So for this one, I'm going to select that they were never married. But if your parents are married, you will need to know the month and the year that they were married. I'll show you. So if you select married, you must put in a month and a year that they were married, or divorced. Even with divorce, it says that. And it will not let you go any further without putting that information. So at least know the month and the year. But for this example, I'm going to say never married, and I'm going to provide my mom's information. So from here, you're going to add your mother's social security number. I'm going to just make up information. But if you want to make sure you typed it in correctly, then you're going to click show and hide. Again, this is completely made up. Then you're going to put your mother's last name, which for this example is last name. And then your mother's first initial. So for example, I'm going to say that my mother's name is Elizabeth. That is actually my name. But my first initial is E. So it's just the letter that your name starts with. Then your mother's date of birth. I'm just going to type in some information. Oops. 1978. And then if your mother or father or parent or guardian, whoever it is you're putting that information in for, if they have an email address, then you can put it there. If not, you can skip it. Then continue. Then it's asking, has whoever you're answering the question for, have they lived in Texas for 5 years? Yes or no, then continue. Here it's asking how many other dependent children does your mother have, or your parents if you live with both parents. And make sure that you notice that it says do not include yourself, which is the student. So what they mean by dependent children is if they rely on your parent or guardian, or in this case the mother, for more than half of their financial support for next school year. Again, pay attention to the dates. So for example, this particular student is the oldest of 5. So there are 5 children, but we do not include ourselves. So we are going to put 4 because there's 4 younger siblings that this student's mother financially takes care of. The next question is how many other dependents does your mother have? And that again could be anybody that lives with your mother now, is currently receiving more than half of their support from their mother, and will continue that support for next school year. So for this example is 0, but if you have somebody that all of those things are true, then you will put how many of those dependents your mother has. We're going to this page, you will confirm what your household size is. So just to clarify, it includes you as the student. For this example is the mother, and then 4 siblings. So total altogether that live in our house is 6. Then it's asking out of the 5 dependents, which is you and your siblings, how many of those will be in college for next school year? It says do not include your mother, even if they are in college. It's just the dependents, so you and your siblings. For this example, it's just going to be me, the student, so I would just put 1. continue. From here, it's just letting you know that you must provide the financial information from your mom's or whoever you're answering it for tax return for 2021. Okay, so for 2021, has whoever you're answering the question for completed their tax return? And I'm going to say yes, they've already completed, already filed, got the refund if they got one. Or you would select will file if they plan to between now and in the future, or they're not going to file. So for this example, it's going to be already completed. Then you will need to know the type of income tax return, which if you have the taxes in front of you, will be in the top left-hand corner, usually of the first few pages. Most of the time when I'm helping students, it is the IRS Form 1040, but if not, select one of the other ones. For 2021, you will then need to ask what your parents' filing status was. So this one does have a picture. Most of these questions about the taxes do have pictures, which will be helpful if you need help. So again, this is where it'll show what type of form it is. The year is always in the middle, and then the filing status is just under that. So single, married jointly, married separately, head of household, or qualifying widow. So for this particular example, we're going to say that they were single. And then from here, you can proceed to the IRS, input your parental information. Then hopefully it will pull all that information from the IRS site into your FAFSA. That's less things that you have to type in. But for this, since it's an example, I don't have that actual information, then I'm going to skip that. But I would suggest to go ahead and proceed to the IRS, continue with those prompts, and try and pull that information. But we're going to skip for here. It's just, are you sure you want to skip? Again, you can change your mind and proceed to the IRS site or click no thanks. So from here, it's asking for your mother's adjusted gross income, or AGI. And again, thankfully it shows pictures. So we are going to go to line 11. So you will put whatever number is in this blank right here, right under line 11, which again, it shows right here. This amount is found in line 11. So we're going to put that she made $10,000 and we're going to push continue. Then it's going to ask how much did your mom earn? It should equal the same amount as before. So we're going to select 10,000. Now, if you have more than one parent, then you will put the information from line 11 here. Then when you push continue, it will ask you to separate the question, or excuse me, separate the income for parent 1 and parent 2. And for that, you would look at, because it's not on the tax form, you would have to look at the W-2s, which is a tax form that is received from your employer or where your parents work, and you can put that information there. So for example, of the 10,000, if there was a second parent, then you would put possibly one parent made 2,000, one parent made 8,000, or one parent made 5, one parent made 5. Or if only one parent works, then you would put that parent 1 earned 10,000 and then parent 2 earned 0. But again, if you have questions, just let us know. And then continue. So here it's just asking if your parent completed a Schedule 1, which is a tax form. If you're unsure, look through the tax information that you have. And if you find a form that is titled Scheduled 1, which would be in the top corners, either the left hand or the right hand side, then you would select yes if you found one. If you do not find a page that says Schedule 1, that means your parents did not file a Schedule 1, so you would put no. And if you're just not sure, you don't have all the tax information in front of you, you can select don't know. But for this example, we're going to select no and continue. Then it will ask, do you want to skip the remaining questions? I would suggest if they give you this option just to select yes. It's less time that you have to spend on this site, and you can just move on to the rest of the application. If you want to give more detailed information, then discuss that with your parents or guardians and select no, and it will go through more information. But for this video, we're going to select yes, we do want to skip. Then continue. And then it skipped over the student financials because it's assuming that you did not have a job. But if you did, then ask one of us for help and we can help you with that. Okay. But for the FAFSA summary, from here, you're just going to go through and just make sure that all the information is correct. Make sure that you selected high school diploma, never attended college first year. Make sure that you answered the questions about your parents correctly, that you have the correct high school, what colleges you want to send it to, which we have all 3 of those. Make sure you've selected all the correct answers. Again, you're just skimming through, making sure that you've answered the right information. And then once you've verified all the information, you will scroll all the way down and you will select continue. It's just asking personal information about you. Notice that it does have an option for decline to answer. So for this example, I'm just going to select decline answer. It's asking your gender, if you are transgender or not, what your ethnicity is, and notice that it says choose all that apply. But just for this example, I'm just going to decline to answer. And then your race. Then continue. From here, this is just informing you that you are about to electronically sign your FAFSA. So if you agree to all this information that you read through, select the box, just saying you agree to these terms, and sign your FAFSA. Okay, so from here, since I do not have a parent FSA ID to show you how that will look, we'll go ahead and submit it without the signature. So let me show you what I mean. So from here, we're going to provide parent signature, make sure they read through this and select that they agree, and then continue. So again, it'll ask you if you want to include your FSA ID. This is for your parent, whoever's information this is. Then you would sign and submit. Since we do not have that, we're going to go to other options. So again, you can print a signature page. Just make sure you're ready to print it right then and there. But for this example, we're going to submit without signatures. And notice that it says it allows you to submit it without your signature, but you will need to return later to sign. And we're going to select continue. Okay, from here, it shows you that you can now submit it. So we're going to select submit my FAFSA now. And then congratulations, you're done. So from here, I'd recommend printing this page or taking a picture, take a screenshot, whatever it is, just so you know that you have completed it. You have a confirmation number. The EFC, which is the expected family contribution, it shows you exactly what that means. If you qualify for any federal grants or Pell Grants or anything like that, it will show here. Your school will use your FAFSA to determine what scholarships or grants or additional funding that you will receive. They use your FAFSA to do that. So make sure you give the confirmation number or the screenshot to your college career advisor or counselor, whoever's asking for it. And if you need anything at all, just reach out. I hope this was helpful. Thank you.